will you open us with invocation?
Our Heavenly Father, tonight we ask you to give the mayor and the council members, Father, to do the business and do it properly in your eyes, Father. Lord, we ask you to be with our city, our country, Father, and bless it. Lord, we should ask God to keep them pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll let you sing us something. Okay. All right. In your packets, you had the minutes of the February 1st meeting. We need a motion and a second to approve those.
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. All right. Committee and department reports. Chamber.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Our tourism report's not much different than it has been the past couple of meetings. We're focusing highly on the Show Me State Barbecue Cook-Off and the 100-mile yard sale, both to happen in May. Tonight, I'd like to ask for the financial allocations to advertise these events. We've received the JC's tourism application. They have applied for $5,000. The tourism committee has reviewed this application and recommends fully funding this application in the amount of $5,000. Last year, the chamber designed their ads, managed them, ran them, placed them, made sure they were paid for. We'll do that again this year to ensure that they're in compliance with the Missouri Division of Tourism requirements. In conjunction, we'll also focus advertising on the 100-mile yard sale. Some of our ads will focus on each of those events specifically, and some of them will be combined to give better advertising value. So we plan to use magazines, newspapers, radio, billboards, and digital advertising to advertise both of these. We'd like to ask you to do what we did about 6 months ago and do a bulk allocation for both of those all together. That allows us to get better rates from all of our advertisers. So tonight for both events, we are asking for an allocation of $12,500 total, and that will get us through the end of the year, quarters 3 and 4. That'll be all the advertising.
Motion.
You got a motion? Got a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Vote? Okay.
Thank you. That dollar amount will help us reach the threshold that we needed to get to the Division of Tourism number. Remember earlier last year, we received a grant from them, so we'll be able to maximize more with those. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, finance, I see Steve's not
I have a
here.
report.
Do you have a report?
Yes, the tax allocations for January, sales tax is $16,991. Sales tax number 2 was $135,934.79. Senior citizen and stormwater, $67,916.82. Capital improvements was $33,982.72, and sales tax, additional sales tax was $118,939.62. Transportation was $67,964.53. All those were up. The consolidated city use tax was $49,288.09. It was down $19,867.46 over January of 2021. While the others combined were $45,795.37 total over January of 2021 last year. So we're still in the good, but it's evident people are starting to do their shopping elsewhere and not as much online shopping. So there again, reiterate to the public, if you're going to do any shopping, do it online where you can get the use tax and use it for stuff to better your community.
All right, thank you.
Well,
All right, fire.
Mayor, council members, few things kind of going on with your fire department. Past weekend, Kennett Fire Department hosted a rope rescue course. We did have several individuals from across the state that come in and participated with us. And the guys on the department probably learned more about knots than what they ever thought they would know existed, but this was kind of the intro beginning before we start getting into some high-angle rope rescue, confined space, and trench collapse. This was kind of a basic course we had to have before that, but if you kind of heard some things about the fire department being along the ditch on 5th Street, we kind of used some areas through there for low-angle training. So you can kind of see our Facebook post for some of the events that went on with that. Other stuff kind of going on. This week, kind of going through a webinar with the Fair Labor Standard Act as far as pay involving fire and EMS personnel. So I'll be doing that all week, and it does involve lots and lots of coffee. It's not too fun just to sit there and stare at that stuff. But anyway, got that going on. Testing, a host of different things there. We do annual ladder testing with all of our vehicles, all the ladders. So it's amazing how many ladders that the fire department owns. And we got them all tested this past week with everything passing, including the aerial trucks. So everything was okay there. Firefighter and officer training. The Missouri Division of Fire Safety that does a lot of the testing. They've opened up some more sites for our guys and girls to get their testing done, and we're very thrilled with that. This past year, testing sites have been limited, but now they're starting to open up more sites. We did complete, 15 individuals completed our EMT class, and that testing involves practical and written, and that's going on. We had half do their practicals this past weekend, and the other half will be in the next couple of weeks, as well as a written test. So we're pretty excited about that. It looks like the pass rate should be pretty good, and it's going to help the possibility with employment with some of those individuals with us. So we were thrilled with that. Station 2 project. We're waiting on the grant go ahead with one more grant, but we'll talk more about that. But I do know the architect has told me that individuals that are involved in this, they're raring to go to get this project going. So again, we're just waiting on a go ahead for one more grant that we're looking at before we can open all that up and talk a little bit more about it. Station 1, the Station 1 grant project, to rebuild it, it's kind of under review right now, and haven't heard anything on that. I just want to give you an update. Haven't talked about that in quite a while. EMS transport license that we're trying to obtain. The last meeting was held back in October, and I've still not heard anything about that from the Dutton County Ambulance District. So anything that you all can help me out with that would be greatly appreciated from the council standpoint to see what's going on with that. I did submit to you all through email, submitted your year-end reports. And, by all means, I'm sure you're going to have some questions about it, or may have some questions, so bring them up to me after you read them. Give me a call. We'll discuss them. Some significant things there. This 2021, we ran 3,340 calls versus 2020 when we ran 1,313. I will tell you that 627 of those calls came from our code enforcement. We are starting to add code enforcement in our emergency reporting software. It makes the whole process work much easier as far as understanding what's been done in one structure. In the event we have fires or anything in the future regarding code enforcement, we'll know what goes on, and it's easily pulled up when we respond to those places. As in the report I did give you through code enforcement, FYI, 62 new construction permits were issued this year, with the total construction costs being estimated at $78,301,495. So again, construction is going on in Kennett. You may not be able to see a lot of it. It may be due to some large commercial projects, but folks, that's good numbers for the city of Kennett. It looks good for us. Safety-wise, we did get our murmur evaluation done, and we are at a 99%. And that's an all-time high for the city of Kennett. That's up from 98% last year. And I will tell you all that one of the hiccups with it, I believe there's a piece of, playground equipment that's not ADA certified, so.
Yeah.
At some point, we may want to bring that up if we want to hit that 100% mark. That's kind of,
But according to Murmah, there is no difference in a price break from 90% or 100. It is the same all the way across.
yeah,
So
some of us
unless you
are,
want a plaque for the wall,
we like plaques.
we like plaques, but we also like our disabled citizens to have a swing.
Yeah.
Who purchased that swing?
The road, Ruatan.
Seeing, I don't know how they feel if we just took it down and done away.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's, I
Or
mean,
we could
it's
replace
nice
it
for a
with something
child in a
else.
wheelchair to have a place to swing if they don't have one at home.
Okay.
And so, to me, I'm fine with that 1% staying.
I want us to have it, that, I hope maybe in the future we can replace it possibly, because I would like for us to try to have
Let's
100%.
check into ADA compliance swing.
Paul,
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I actually got a catalog today that is handicap
yeah.
playground equipment. If you,
Okay.
I'll get it to you, and
I don't.
and I do recall seeing some swings that had wheelchairs on them, so
Okay.
you get that, maybe we can get it replaced with something
That's-
better.
That's got
It'll
That's
make
not
them happy.
Murmah before you
Yeah, it's
install
gotta
it.
have that
It's got IE,
IPAC,
yeah, certification.
yeah, so some, yeah,
Anyway,
that you would think, you know, handicap accessible, wheelchair accessible swing
right.
being built, and at the cost of it that they spent was a pretty good amount.
Right.
But it would come with that little sticker on there, so,
Again, no arguments, but, yeah, we could've got 100% of it.
yeah. But yeah, so it's, hey, you know, a little kid with a smile, it's
Exactly.
worth one.
Exactly. So, that's what I have for you tonight. Any questions?
Great about the 99.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank you all.
thank you. All right, human resources.
We'd like to have a meeting tonight, closed meeting after this.
Okay.
And that's it for right now.
And then, humanity.
We are currently at 29 dogs and we just transported Saturday. So
Wow.
as fast as we get them out, we re-pick up new ones. But we're plugging along, so. We had a challenge that was on Facebook, and one of our Facebook people asked us would we participate with Miss Betty White's 100th birthday, where you could donate, challenging shelters and pounds to donate $5 or whatever you chose to local ones to help out, because she was a big animal advocate. So we did participate, and we raised right under $1,800. So that helped out a whole lot with our bedding. And we've had another pallet and a half of food donated in honor of Mr. Keith Mitchell. So we're still bringing in donations in his honor. And we have several different fundraisers going on right now.
Did you happen to find the owner of that, little puppy that got placed here, was it yesterday?
No,
No,
we didn't.
okay,
I'm pretty sure that probably might belong to the person.
yeah. Well, that was gonna be my next question, it's like, okay, this is coming February, you know, a lot of people for certain holidays get a pet as a, you know, you don't sit there and realize that, you know, these pets live 10, 12, 15 years, it's not a, so is this time, the time of the year that whenever people who got a fresh, brand new puppy, and it's now turned into a terrible two toddler
Yes, we
and
usually
2 months
get,
old?
in December, we clean up Christmas puppies in
Yeah.
January, just in time for Valentine's Day puppies.
Yeah.
Then we will clean that up, and then rolls around Easter, which will be rabbits and anything else that looks cute. So,
So I guess a word to the wise is, a pet is not a great, for a lot of people, because they end up with you, don't they?
they do. We end up with a lot of pets, and we hear every kind of excuse that you cannot even imagine. But we just try to do the best we can, stay afloat, and not have to euthanize for space is our big thing. Things are just not moving as fast as they were, because a lot of the dogs that were adopted during COVID up north has been returned since people's been back to work. So that puts kind of a hold on a lot of hours that we have. A lot of them, we've had several adoptions, which normally we don't. But we had a lady that challenged people to sponsor a KHD dog of $150 to go toward vetting at Dr. Mobley's. And then the person adopting would pick up the remainder of the bill, and that would be placed toward it. Or if a rescue decided to take it, Dr. Mobley cuts them a check for the $150 and it goes along with them. So we have moved some like that, and it, you know, it's no cost to the city other than their donations.
Okay.
We're trying to stay on top of it, but I'll let you know if someone does come.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, police, I know chief can't be here, so
Yeah, I've got a couple things. We've had a committee meeting, a year or so ago, a couple years ago. We started selling off some of our older cars, you know, transferring over to new ones, and to try to stay with our rotation, we need to try to get ahead of the curve on this. We were afraid that our next two, we might not be able to get, so we had a meeting, decided right now would be a good time to go ahead and throw our name in the hat for them. We'd like to buy two more. They're the 2022 Explorers. They come in somewhere around, right around $36,000. They do have them on the lot. The committee went ahead and recommended doing it, but we needed to bring it to the entire council to get the vote on it.
okay.
This will only leave us, I believe, with 3 on the next round of cars that we're gonna try to get rid of.
Okay. All right, so that comes as a motion to purchase the 2 cars, and the finance and the police
Yes.
got together and approved the motion.
Finance was involved in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The money had already been allocated from our housing. That was quite a bit of it. And we still have 2 installments coming from them for the end of the fiscal year, so.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion, John's a second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
From housing, from the housing.
Yeah,
The housing.
2 of the installments are gonna come from housing, which we've got the money now, but.
Equipment reserve.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
what I
I
was
was gonna say,
thinking.
it's coming out of the equipment reserve, and it's where the money's gonna be pulled from.
That's what I was thinking from the other meeting.
We were afraid that if we did not go ahead and do this now, when it came time there in June or July, I can't remember when we did it last year, that there was gonna be, excuse me, such a waiting list that we might not get them, you know, in the year of 2022.
Because one of the cars they bought 6 months ago just got on the street 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, couple, 2, 3 weeks ago.
It's taken quite a while to get all the equipment installed and decals put on, and, you know, get the car up and ready to serve, so that'll be good. Okay.
Now, is that money, is that 36, is that radios equipped and sticker and everything? It's
No,
just-
no, this is just the price off the lot.
When we sell the other cars, that usually pays for the equipment and
The outfitting of them.
like the older cars we're getting rid of, that money will go.
Are those coming from refuse up around
Yes.
St. Louis?
Like state bid, price of used cars is up 40%.
At least.
Yeah. So, okay. All right, street department.
The street department and the finance department, finance committee met on March of 21, and the finance committee agreed to pay $25,000 down on the tractor that we needed, and $24,000 each year for the next 2 years. And that is, I've got this looking through the finance committee meeting minutes, and that was approved, so I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and pay that $24,000 this year and have
May.
it set in May.
It's coming in May.
Okay, and so we would like to make that motion to go ahead and pay it in May.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to go ahead and pay the allocation. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
What does that money come out
Where are you gonna try to pull that money out of, Mr. West?
Supposed to come from capital improvement.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's capital
Yeah,
improvement.
Capital improvement, you're correct. Also, we've not had a lot of luck with getting people in our, I'm drawing a blank, in our, where we're trying to get people to come into the city.
Yeah, out in Hickory Village, you know.
Annexation.
We had a couple people
Annexation.
call, but they never really did anything else after that.
Yeah, so we're kind of in a situation where we're gonna probably put that paving on hold, Keith, until we can figure out what they're gonna do. Or Keith is going to talk to townships, see if they're interested in working with us on that. They've worked with us on a few other projects, and so we wanna go ahead and get them to budget that.
Those roads won't be paved this year.
Right. And
We're gonna try to move forward on getting those people to come into the city that aren't in the city. And if they don't wanna come into the city, then we're gonna try to talk to this township about helping pave the roads out there at least.
seem kind of
If
silly
we
to
put
pave.
paving those off this year, that'll give them time to try to get it worked into their budget.
And it also allows the neighbors that know that certain ones, it's like, well, why won't you come into the city limits? And
Get it together.
if you'll come into the city limits, we can get the road paved.
The biggest thing where they were worried about taxes, but I told them that the city didn't collect taxes and it would have to be voted back in before they did, so. And then that's when the other one said that they were interested, but they never did act on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, we have a request from Delta Peanut, this is what we were talking about the other day, that the new road going into their business be named the John Curry Drive in memory of the contractor that started building the plant. He was killed on a trip home to take care of his wife, and he did not get to finish the project, and they would like to see that name on the street. And so I think right now, let's everybody think about it, and we'll see about the vote on that the next meeting.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, what's the
Yes.
name?
I'll give it to you, Sue.
John Curry,
Yeah, John Curry.
John Curry.
C-U-R-R-E-Y,
John Green Road?
Drive,
That's
and you can go ahead and fill them in on the rest of Thanksgiving.
Mayor, council members, we don't have much else. The only other thing is the Delta Peanut Road. They've got the west side of it finished and they're starting on the east side now, on the south end, heading back north. I guess Terry's not here, but the thing that he had, the ordinance the last time for the road, for the city taking the road, I think they may be waiting until that is done before they actually connect to the bypass, because that's what that, I think, had something to do with that. So they haven't actually done the part out there on the bypass, but when they get back up there, I guess all that will be taken care of. I tried to get a hold of MoDOT today. We had to block the entrance to the driveway out there for the walking trail off. MoDOT says we can't have two driveways down there that close together. So we're either gonna have to, well, I tried to get a hold of them to see if we're supposed to take it out or if they are. But they said for now, block it off, so it's blocked off. I'll get with them, find out how they wanna proceed with getting rid of that. We can go cut the asphalt ourselves and pull it out, that's not a problem. I just don't know if, by it being on their right of way, if they wanna take the pipe out or want us to. So that's the only other thing we've got, other than we need to have a meeting, street department and stormwater next Tuesday, if nobody's got one scheduled. Next Tuesday at 5:30.
We
Got something scheduled?
yeah, at 5:30, can we do it at 5?
We can, or we can do it we can do it Thursday or something.
Yeah, let's try Thursday.
That's fine. That's fine.
Is that right in here with the other one you're wanting, Bill, Thursday?
That one's this Thursday, isn't it?
Do what?
It's this Thursday.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
After tomorrow, he can talk about next week.
We're talking about February 24th.
Okay.
Okay, so February 24th at the street department, combined stormwater and street.
Yes.
5:30?
Mhm. Yes.
The only other thing is the wood chipper. Seems to be working real good if you empty it every 3 days. If you try to run all week, it's a little hard to get all that stuff out of there, so it's been working out real good for us, cutting down on having to go out to the compost and dump all the time. We can run about 3 days all day long with it. It's took a little bit to get it going, but it seems to be running okay when they don't let it run out of fuel. Other than that, it they do need to check it more than every 3 days.
That's happened a couple times?
Yeah, it's happened once.
Okay.
They tried to run it for all week, but Ford engine doesn't do that great. We had diesel engine, but it is working for now though.
Okay.
That's all we've got for the street department.
I've got one thing here for the street department. I received a letter from Mitzi Dell that goes back towards the road. It's the, please sign, see the attached CDBG RFF1 and pay request for number 2 for the attached breakdown drawing the funds on the DRA portion for the road out there. That's from the grant that was given to us. So the money is there, correct? We just have to sign it and send it off. So myself, Bill Palmer, Scott Hunter, Keith Westerfield can sign it, so I can sign it. I just need the council to approve that we sign this and send it off.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, go ahead now, Mr.
I just want to bring up one other thing, that there still needs to be money put back in transportation sales tax from that last payment that we were held up on. If we knew anything about that, Steve's not here, he may be, I don't know if it'd be him or Leslie to talk to about that maybe. We borrowed money from transportation to pay that bill because there was a big hassle with getting the money. It was gonna take a while. Have we heard anything about that?
No, we have not. Let's make sure we bring it up at the combined meeting then.
I'll get a hold of Leslie and see if I need to talk to her or Steve about that, to see where we stand on that.
How much we borrow?
$200 and something thousand.
Good pay.
It was to make that first payment for the grant, and they submitted it, and I think due to a paperwork glitch, it didn't go through, so we paid for it out of transportation. We're gonna put it back when that came back.
Yes.
I'll get with Leslie and check and see where we stand on that. That's all we got for street department.
I have a question, Mr. Westfield.
Yes, sir.
I was asked by someone here in town, what is the correct steps in trying to get an alley abandoned from the city?
You first have to go to Sea Light and Water and see if they will allow it, because if they've got utilities down there, they usually don't allow it. After that, if it's okay with them, I think you have to get all of the residents that adjoin that to okay it.
Okay.
And then after that, pretty much, if we don't have a use for it, we don't care. It's just one we don't have to take care of.
Yeah.
Generally, the first thing you need to do is get it to Sea Light and Water, because if they've got utilities, a lot of times they will say no.
Okay.
And I don't know which one you're talking about, but I've talked to them about one of them that I had a few calls on here recently that they said no. They have utilities back there and they don't want to abandon it. I don't know if it's the same one or not.
They're fixing me in for a heck of a fight. I mean, a heck of a fight. They put the utilities in the wrong place.
Do what?
They're in the wrong place.
Utilities? I don't know, that's not my department, fortunately, thank goodness. But, if Dover on Southwest Drive?
I believe so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where their utility's supposed to be. I know where the alley is supposed to be, and right now you can't get down there because of some trees, and we told them we're gonna clear them out, and they didn't want nothing to do with that. They do not want the trees moved, but it's an alley, so technically we can move the trees.
I don't think we're talking about the same place. You'd spend 6 months there.
Well, no, the trees are on down from where I think you're talking about.
Okay.
And that was one of their things, you couldn't get down where they are anyway because of the trees on the other end. And I assured them that would be taken care of, and they said, no, we don't want it taken care of.
Yep.
But the first thing they'll need to do is talk to Sea Light and Water.
That works out so well.
Yeah, well, that's, like I said, once you go through them, it would be, I think all the residents would have to sign off on it.
That would be the easy part.
Probably. Then after that, like I said, we don't have a reason to go down there, we probably wouldn't say nothing about it.
Okay, I wasn't sure what the procedure was for that.
Yeah, that would be first step.
Keith,
Yes.
can we get there's only when I called you last week about the truck parking on can we get a couple more signs
We are.
spaced in there?
Yeah, I told them to get a couple more places marked in between there every so often. And then, I'm gonna have Erica make some more signs, and we'll put some more up in there. Cause those are kind of spaced far apart.
Had an 18-wheeler parked, square on it, it's only like 2 inch.
Yeah, it's not
Just
very.
lucky it was cold, wasn't a hot day. and-
Maybe 3 or something, yeah, 3 or 4, I'm not sure how thick it is, but it's definitely not semi-truck rated, for sure.
Where's this at?
On the walking trail, they were waiting to unload at the old rigs building, stretched out across there. I did check on your signs that you were asking about, and I'm gonna have to get with MoDOT on that too. I got a guy I called and never did get hold of him, left him a message.
That was gonna
It's
be-
on their right of way, so we have to go through steps to do it.
That
We
was
have
gonna
the
be
signs, we just have to go through them to get it done. That's all I got. Y'all don't have any more
Which
questions?
sign is that?
Noise
sign?
ordinance.
Huh?
Noise ordinance.
Okay.
We have
Uh,
we have a local business and trucks coming into town, they use their engine brakes and it shakes the building every time they come through there doing it.
yeah,
Starting to get a little irritating.
okay. Well, I'm saying with that, then on, street sign, right there across from African Court, there's a sign there that shows where it's a curve,
Mm-hmm.
that it's non-existent. The sign's there, but you can't see
Can't
it.
read
You
it?
can't read nothing on it.
Okay.
Well, and then saying that, because if those trucks are gonna be going through there, somebody that doesn't know the area is gonna see headlights and they're gonna think they can just go straight through there to hit that road. And they're gonna wind up in,
Okay, we'll get that checked out. Yeah,
it's
they'll go
completely
through.
washed out or wore off, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
it's-
we'll get that checked on.
Under noise ordinance there, it's, for the last couple of weeks, and I'll be doing it for another few more, that friend of mine, Dr. Rushing, I'm filling in for him on Tuesdays up in Poplar Bluff. And right by his office, I took a picture of it, and Poplar Bluff has a noise ordinance 7128 in effect. 0 tolerance, too loud, we impound. So, instead of a ticket, that might slow a few things down to,
We're gonna need a large impound yard.
yeah, but I'm just saying, it's just, I parked in this parking lot, and that was right beside his building, and I looked up, and that's the first thing I see is, this, Poplar Bluff noise ordinance, number 7128, in effect. Too loud, we impound.
There are a lot of, it's kind of a gray area.
Yeah.
One thing that you almost have to have a police officer sitting there when it happens to catch them. But, it goes into a real in-depth thing, and you start getting into interstate commerce and interrupting that and so forth, when you start saying that you can't have Jake brakes and so forth and so on. So most places say they just put up a noise ordinance sign to take care of it, which is what we've got. I think it says no loud truck brakes or something like that. So we're gonna get with MoDOT and see what we gotta do to get those put up. I mean, like putting them there, like I said, enforcing it's one thing, having it there, hopefully a lot of people will just do it. But I hear them at the store going in, hitting a Jake brake 20 feet from the stop sign, I guess they love to hear it, I don't know, so.
There's a large mountain there.
Yeah.
Trying to get slowed down.
Yeah, the brakes definitely aren't gonna do it at 10 miles an hour, so, but, we'll see what we can do about getting it up anyway.
We go.
Although some of them do sound good.
So, Storm?
We've got a post-construction stormwater management, ordinance that we need to get taken care of. So I'm gonna give that to you, Brenda, to get taken care of with Terry. We need to get this done as quick as we can, bring it to the next meeting, and to finish out our requirements for stormwater. Otherwise, go ahead.
Along with that, we have made the payment on our MS4 operating permit for this year, so that's taken care of. And I think you said the permit is good to go.
Thank you.
and we have the permit, so just paying this payment doesn't mean you're gonna always get the permit, but we have the permit and got it paid for. The only other thing for stormwater is the people we had been talking to about lining our pipes, they've not really got back with us. I've called them a couple times and hadn't heard back from them. So I have contacted another company that expressed interest in coming and looking at them, so I'm gonna get them the information this week, and, they're, another company, I think they may be a little closer than that other one, but, he said they'd be glad to look at it and see what we got. So hopefully we'll hear something from them pretty soon.
It's really important that we get this done.
Yes, especially that one that we just got cleaned out from, St. Francis to Vanderbilt. We really need to get that lined while we got it clean. Cause it's a very, very old clay tile, so it's sort of fragile anyway. But that being said, the flooding is a whole lot better there than has been. And we actually have more flooding in other places now than we do over on Taylor and Jackson, so that was a big improvement over there. And since we got the pipe put under Vanderbilt, the two 15-inch pipes over there, it's really getting it out of there quicker, so we've actually got other problems that are worse now than that is, so we're doing good there. That's all we got for stormwater. If y'all don't have any questions, thank y'all.
Okay, industrial, nothing I know of.
We heard anything from Parker, Kennett? You know, some place looking there, just kinda.
The last I heard, they'd asked for an extension on, some paperwork, and they put it to, end of February, beginning of March, so it's really, I don't know much more than that.
You may have thrown hospital report.
Yeah, we can do that after, you wanna do it before or after senior citizen? We'll go ahead, I'll put it at the bottom, so we'll go ahead and go senior citizen, and then we'll go hospital.
We'll have we have a meeting planned for next Tuesday at 6 o'clock at the senior citizens. I talked to Laura Ford today. Everything's going pretty well as planned. However, several different sicknesses and stuff like that the past couple of weeks has been kind of difficult. We've had to cancel a couple meetings. So Tuesday at 5:30 or 6. I'm sorry, 6.
That it's, going with the senior citizens, I received a invite, I don't know if everybody else, probably council-wide. Yeah, on, Friday, March 25th, from 2 until 3, at the Oaks Nutrition Center. Since 1973, Kennett Oaks Senior Citizen has served the area on the southern end of Duncan County. March is Senior Nutrition Month, and it is a great time to celebrate our service to older Americans. So this is a celebration for their, I'm sure Laura will be here more, but if you've got mark on your calendars, Friday, March 25th, and they're doing a little celebration out there. All right, now, hospital.
First of all, we had the 3 people from St. Francis came down, and they were given a tour of different sites that are available. And they wanted to be kept small, and we showed them some different sites and had a little discussion with them, and they're still very, very interested. I want the council members to understand that if we have more than 2 council members, then it has to be announced in advance, because it is a public meeting at that point. And so when some of this stuff is going on, I'm not gonna be able to get a hold of all the council members to get involved, because we will not have enough time, or we have information that they do not want to be released publicly. But that went quite well. They're very interested. Meanwhile, the CEO of St. Francis it was on the news tonight that she resigned and retired. And so we were a little bit concerned about that, but we've already been contacted that is not a problem. The project is still going on. They want to be involved in the feasibility study, and we'll keep them informed on that, and be getting with the county commission about that. To direct that, they want to have some specific questions answered. We still want to encourage St. Bernard's and different groups like that We're not gonna put all our eggs in that one basket right now, but if you're not notified in advance of that meeting, I want you all to understand why that is. And so, we're trying to keep it to where the people that are interested, we don't want to scare them off, is what it boils down to. So we'll keep sending things out though as we find out information. That's it.
Okay. All right, we don't have anything under unfinished business. Under new business, we have planning and zoning recommendation for the Wendy's replant.
Motion.
And that's a, that's the sort of city ordinance here, correct? All right, since Terry's not here, I guess I'll read it. It does not have a number.
No, I have to sign that.
Okay, you sign that later, okay. This is an ordinance accepting and approving plat of Lot 1 of the Walton subdivision for the city of Kennett, Missouri. Be it ordained by the city council, city of Kennett, Missouri, falls to wit, and that's usually pretty much where he usually stops, isn't
Just
it?
the heading.
Okay, yeah, it's just a heading. So it's just approving the zoning that you received in your packet that the planning and zoning committee approved the other day, so we're approving their recommendation.
Make a motion.
You have a motion?
Second.
And you have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright. This ordinance is accepting and approving the plot of Lot 1 of the Walton subdivision for the city of Kennett, Missouri. Motion?
Second.
This is roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Yes.
Everybody approved? Okay, and then the police cars we already did. Okay, in your packet, you have approval of the city abstract.
Motion.
Motion,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
There you go. Approval of the statement of revenue and expenditures.
Motion.
We got a motion, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And then, approval of the city bank balances.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Here.
Gary did, yeah. All right, mayor's report. To go along with hospital, city, and everything else, we brought this up before, but, everyone should have gotten an email, department heads and, council. Jacob Roeder from the Brownsfield assessment application, and it deals with property in town, like the hospital building. Also maybe the old Emerson, reached out to Paul, trying to get some information on there. Any property that could be of city use, the way that I understood things, and this is for them to come in, do a site survey, and see how they can help through the Department of Natural Resources to fix up, tear down pieces of property around town. In that email that we sent out Thursday, at the bottom, the second blue link that should have shown up is some of the properties that they've done elsewhere in Missouri, and gives you a little bit more information. But in there, the first blue link is a application page for the property itself, and then you have to have a consent form filled out of the property owner. So we don't have to own it, it just may have some use that the city is looking at. We just have to have the property owner's permission to turn it over to them, and then they can do a site survey and fill us in more. So it's gonna be a Zoom meeting. I did notice in my email this afternoon that the Zoom link is there, so I will forward that to you, and then you forward it out to all city council and department heads. And so you'll be able to do it from home, cab of your truck, or wherever at 9 o'clock next Thursday. And because it'll be a Zoom meeting, because he's in Kennett City, his partner's in Kansas City, and we're way down here, closer to Arkansas than anybody wants to be. Yeah, we're a long ways from it. There's no easy way to get there. So again, that's, next Thursday at 9 o'clock, so anybody that wants to will be able to, log in, and that, Zoom information will be there. We took care of the RFF already. Took care of that. There's only, 2 more city councils, before the next election. So if you're running and you haven't been coming, this is a good way to learn and see if, position of, that if, we've got a few runoffs, but, other than that, it's, again, if you're interested in looking at what the city council does in every place else, one of the best ways to learn is sitting in one of the seats out here. So come by, look, and ask, and see. But besides that, that's about all I have, so we will open it up to, public comment.
You carry my phone around on the 4th of July, find out real quick what the city council does.
Yeah.
We get yelled at.
3, 2, 1, okay. Well, we'll take a motion to adjourn, take a quick break, and, go into, closed session.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?